So we'll do uptime, or hang on, can I do a stream marker? Try that. Okay. So I get asked a lot comparing, New World to Elyon, Elyon to New World. So I'll do a quick little synopsis of Elyon, and I'll compare it to New World. But by the way, I feel comparing New World, I'll preface this, I feel comparing Elyon to New World is not fair, because New World literally just came out, and Elyon has been out in Korea for a while and been developed longer. So it's not a fair comparison. A fair comparison would be comparing New World in like 2 or 3 years, right? And I do think New World in 2 or 3 years is potentially could be an awesome game. It's just not there yet. So what do I like about Elyon? Elyon is, although in Unreal 3, so it kind of looks a little dated or grainy. Some people don't really like the aesthetic of it. I understand that. It runs very well for me and most people. New World has a lot of performance issues, especially in wars. Granted, they've been having some server issues with the world bosses, but this is mostly, the servers are packed on Elyon. They don't have any space. I guess they just opened up a third EU server. So there's some performance issues, but it seems like it's server wide, not so much rig related. Elyon's a complete game. So you have a full map. Let me, I don't know why it's doing that. Hang on. That's on the sky. That's why. So you have a full map, right? You have 2 factions. In the conflict zones, it is open world PvP between the 2 factions. You get honor points for killing people. Honor points is a major currency. And then if this is like one faction side, this is the other faction side. If you flag up, you can attack people from the other faction in your own respective side. So pretty much PvP everywhere. On top of that, you have arenas you can queue for at any time, which give you great rewards. These are how you get the luminous pets and stuff like that. You want to do these arenas. They also have a battle royale arena, different modes. And then there's also these things called dimensional portals, which open up during certain hours of the day. And these are both factions against each other with PvE objectives as well as PvP objectives. So you will go into these zones, you will farm, and then you will hopefully run into the other faction and have to kill them or defend yourself. So it's a very PvP focused game. On top of that, there are clan wars. So clans can attack or do these fortress fights over these zones, and then they get tax, I believe, based on how much is farmed within these regions. So there's I did in the beta, we did a clan war. It was like a 10v10 over control points. Super fun. There's also, you research these parts of your clan. You can distribute these to people in the guild, different consumables, things for PvP. You can summon players from your clan. You get different clan missions. Speaking of which, you do different clan missions and go for goals, and there's rankings for the guilds, all that stuff. So at the end of the day, Elyon's a complete game, whereas New World is not a complete game. New World is very far from being a complete game. New World has major game-breaking bugs they need to fix, and this is also Amazon's first rodeo, whereas Elyon was developed by the people that made Terra and PUBG. This isn't their first rodeo. So it's all about what you want out of a game. I think if you've been playing New World for a while and you've gotten to the end game, which is very uninspired in New World, you're hitting orichalcum veins and running in circles, looting chests, and then hoping you can get into a war that you're hoping doesn't lag. The outpost rush never works. There's just a lot of things in New World's endgame that are uninspired and not working. So me personally, especially as a broadcaster, so I'm biased in this regard, streaming New World is abysmal. The directory is really rough. The only people are getting views are like Shroud and Suquisha and stuff like that. And for a smaller broadcaster like myself, I don't get any traction in that directory, and that's fine. Okay. I prefer to play New World off stream while I'm watching Netflix on the other monitor, because I'm just doing very mundane gathering stuff. There's not a lot of exciting stuff going on in New World from a broadcasting standpoint. It's partially my fault, because you know, that you got to flag up and get a whole group together so you can fight the other flag groups, because there's no real small scale incentives in New World. So for me, Elyon right now is a much better game. Granted, there's a lot of issues with Elyon just from a design standpoint that a lot of people won't like, i.e. super PvP focused. You can't really avoid PvP. 2, it's a Korean gear grinding game. What I mean by that is, you've seen the systems before in ArcAge, BDO. It's not as horrible as BDO, but you know, you plus your gear up, it has a chance to downgrade. If it's a piece of breakthrough gear, it'll break if it fails. So that whole RNG gear grind system, a lot of people don't like that. That being said, the PvP in Elyon is fucking top notch. I love the PvP. I love grinding mobs in the game. These are all the skills that my class has available. Each of these 4 different variants are basically morphs of just that ability. So you can change all of those. You can swap between builds at a hotkey. Not only that, you have rune attributes. These are based on the runes you slot into your gear. These give you a bunch of different passives. And then at the bottom of them, there's actives. And then on top of that, there's the mana tree, which is another seasonal grind that you get for farming mobs that changes how your character plays as well. There's a lot of different ways to customize your character in Elyon, and that's what I think it does really well. PvP, character customization, and just being a complete game that isn't riddled with bugs. So I don't think you can say Elyon is better than New World. New World hasn't had enough time to mature yet. I think in a couple years we can judge it again, and we can see where New World's at in terms of fixing their bugs and all that stuff. But for me right now, personally, Elyon is just definitely a better game because it's a complete game. So hopefully that answered some stuff. Back to grinding. Video done.